Hi, Wasabi, welcome back to the channel. Got a battle here on the Kharkov map, and it's FadingNeptune from Fort Clan in the T-54 Mod 1, which is a Tier 8 Soviet medium tank. This is like an early prototype of what leads to the T-54 or Tier 9, which is a tech tree tank. It's also been one of the best medium tanks in the game. In the early stages of the game. Now, FadingNeptune, also, if you're not familiar with him, he is another World of Tanks community contributor, and I'll leave the links to his Twitch channel below and his YouTube channel. And he's also one of our moderating team as well. Now, coming to the center of the map here to get some early lights and challenge the enemy from trying to push up. So commonly you get some heavy tanks here, but being in a medium tank you can get here a bit faster than the heavies, and what he's going to do is use this location to get hull down to see how well his armour stands up to the challenge of basically this cross-firing position. He's got an E75 TS there, managed to bounce some up. Big hit there from the E75. E75 gets hit on the way back and he gets the kill. So first kill there to Fading, and it does take a hit there from the ONE, but the ONE's firing HE, so armour's not going to stand up to that in the sense that HE does damage regardless of whether it penetrates or not. That's a bit unfortunate, but still got plenty of health, and he's got good view range here to cover that corner, but of course he would be spotted as soon as those tanks turn out, so no real advantage there in terms of camouflage. There's that only very tall tank, so can look over the top, but you can see he's starting to bounce shots again. But realising that he's not going to get any damage of those tanks that do pull back, so coming up to take a more forward position, and there's a gap here in the buildings that you can exploit if there are tanks in the middle that are of the city, that is, that are like just exactly the Centurion. What he's doing here, aiming for the front sprocket, does critical damage, but the Centurion uses his repair kit and gets behind a barrier before Fading can reload. So just again looking to see whether he's going to pop out, but he's not. And just looking at the situation to his left, the two tanks there are pretty low hit points. So can he help them out or not? You'll just have to judge. And he's telling them to fall back, basically, not try and challenge that position. And see if they can draw the enemy tanks out to be shot at by the tank destroyers. They're on the back of them, supporting them. So bouncing some more rounds there. He's now bounced more rounds than he's actually done damage. It's interesting in a medium tank. See if you can catch them out. So the idea is to light them. You can see just at the top of the mini-map there, on the zero line, there are two tank destroyers, so they're just basically waiting for the opportunities for those tanks there. So that's one of the reasons for asking the tanks there to fall back, is it gives a clearer shot to the TDs, and it also encourages the enemy tanks to push out and try and get shots themselves, which then exposes them to the TDs. So you can see the ONE's been taken down to one shot. Tiger P comes out, Fading gets the first shot in there, ONE goes down, taken out by Artie, and Scorpion G takes out the Tiger P. So Fading's up to 1 cave damage and 1 cave assisted. Just looking for a shot there on the Centurion. That's not going to take place. It's only going to see the top of the turret, which is not going to pen, even though he's firing premium ammunition. Now he's got another spot here he can take advantage of trying to get rid of this Caro P88. And just looking for the top of the turret, focuses in, gets the shot and takes him out. He's taking a bit of a risk here, pushing up the bushes right in front of him. As you can see, he's travelling towards commonly used by tank destroyers, but he's not getting lit, so at least not by tank destroyers. So he's lit there by the Centurion 5-1, but he knows there's nothing behind those bushes there. He would have been lit anyway. Just comes up to check out further. No, definitely nothing there. And coming down here, so the game is pretty much in the balance. They do have a bit of a lead in hit points. In fact, actually a reasonable lead, nearly 2,000 points, but they're only slightly ahead in terms of tanks And now he's got the SU-100 Model 1 there. Again, going for the tracking shot. Just forcing him to use this reload kit if nothing else, and puts another shot in that doesn't connect. But again, doesn't want to expose himself too much at this stage. But looks like those TDs are pushed back off the top of the hill, so you can take the risk and come back in here. He does get lit, possibly by the Wheezy 120 fake tank there, but looks like he's going to chase him around and try and hunt him down. TD's moving fairly quickly, but he knows he'll basically have to set up if he wants to try and shoot back at Fading, so coming around behind is going to be pretty safe. There you go, he's trying to turn around, but gets him before he does, and that's another kill. So 3 kills there to Fading. Not getting a lot of damage out of it at this point, but still early days in the game. There's only 6 minutes gone so far. And plenty of time to go. And again, he knows this tank destroyers on the hill there, so seeing if they'll expose themselves or even light him up. So even just taking a shot will be a test to see whether you get lit. He wasn't lit there, so they definitely have pulled back. Just trying to assess the damage there. There's a Type 59 gold on the other side. Did he get lit? Yes, he did. So he's dived into the ditch here, which will give him some protection. He's picking up some more spotting damage on that Type 59. And just coming up here, is he going to get lit from the top? Yes, he did get lit, but yeah, possibly still that Type 59. But he knows the TDs are, at least the one TD is up there, and there's that SU. Goes for the frontal shot there. Armour not penetrated. The SU-100M1 does have pretty trollish armour on the front, and he takes a hit from a different tank destroyer, T-25/2. So there's 2 tank destroyers up there, and Fading takes the time to put that information to chat to let his team know that they're both located at the same spot. And that looks like an arty shot that's coming in, so he's dodged that. And he's just trying to encourage the rest of the team to move up and put some pressure on the enemy here. He's pretty safe in the ditch here. Certainly he'll go dark, but every time he comes up here he'll be subject to being spotted and potentially side shot as he comes out. So turning around here is a wise move. He can come up and change the angles, find a different spot to get out of the ditch, and potentially flank the TDs on the hill. This TD is still stuck at the back there. In fact, looks like an enemy T-92 has gone to take on team's artillery. That's not going to end well, I wouldn't think. Not for the artillery anyway. Just watching that on the mini-map as that's going by. And in fact, the T-92 does destroy the arty. And people are saying the SDG is botting. Well, we'll have to see the results at the end, whether that's true or not. It's the SU-100M1 again. Can he get a side shot in? He can, but yes, he does some damage, so that's good. Now what he wants the SU-100 to do is basically try and come at him, in which case the tanks behind him can do some damage. The SDG is actually moving, so he's not a complete bot, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Where's that T-25/2? Okay, was spotted right down there on the K-line. So can Fading take the risk and move up a bit further? Oh, there, okay, now he's come up again. So takes a snapshot towards the T-25/2, but that doesn't seem to connect. Certainly didn't do any damage, and then the SU's deciding to push up a bit more. Puts a shot in towards, no, still luckily bounces off Fading, but Fading shot bounces as well. Again, that strong frontal armour of the SU-100 paying off. How long can this situation last? It's 10 all. They do have a good lead in hit points. Okay, there's the T-25T coming towards him. Penetrates that, no problem. Can he get a second shot in there and take him out? Yes, he does. No, it's gone. So that's definite advantage. It's taken him over 2,000 hit points of damage, and he's got nearly He's got over 1800 of assisted, so chugging along quite nicely there. Another frontal shot in the SU-100. I think it's really there to try and stop the SU-100 from coming, but he gets the lower plate there, and this is what he wanted, the SU-100 to come right at him. Got the Type 59 goal on the side, but looks like the SU-100 has rammed himself to death on Fading. That was an interesting move. Type 59 gold gets taken out by the STG. Okay, so the STG is actually firing live rounds. That's an interesting turn up, and now it's just the arty left. And Fading is going to be a one shot to the arty potentially, depending on whether he gets hit directly or not. He's most likely down in the ditch at the back there on the K line. In fact, there he's been spotted going sideways. So unfortunately, that snapshot doesn't go in, and he's trying to auto aim there. Does get hit by the arty, but gets left on 54 hit points. That's definitely enough to finish this off. First long reload time on the T-54 Model 1, but he's getting his hits in, and the Scorpion G takes out the arty, and that is the end of the game. Let's go and have a look at the detailed results. So that was an Ace Tanker Mastery badge there from FadingNeptune. He got 5 kills, 2878 of his own damage and 2536 of assisted damage, which gives him a total of about 5.4k of combined damage, but more incredibly 1790 of block damage, so well above the hit points of his own vehicle. Pretty unusual for a medium tank in that case, but 1602 base experience, nice high level there for an ace tanker, well supported there by the Scorpion, who got nearly 6k of his own damage, and the Basante as well. The rest of the team fairly lackluster, and on the other side the fake tank that he destroyed at the end, or near the end, had done nearly 4k of his own damage there, and consequently got a decent amount of experience for a losing team. 29 shots fired, 19 of those hit, 13 penetrated. Give him his damage total there, used most of his ammunition, and therefore cost him quite a bit there for ammunition, but ended up with only 20k of loss, but well worth it. Another great game there from FadingNeptune, and look forward to more.